Hello, my name is Jean. I am a knitter, and I'm a knitter that's getting over a cold. Yay me. I have been able to knit again, and I've been making progress on my shawl, and thought I would share. I put it on a long collection of multiple cables that I have fastened together for my cable needles. And this is pretty much what it's looking like. Yeah. It just keeps going and going. I feel like an Energizer bunny, but an Energizer bunny that's been spending a lot of time on the sofa. My cold is still hanging around a little bit. I sound it. But I can think. Oh, it's so nice to have a brain that works again. My brain is functioning. And I am weighing my cake of yarn using my little kitchen scale, which is accurate to grams, whole grams. It doesn't do fractions of a gram. And I'm weighing it about every 2 rows to make sure that my math is correct, and I will have enough yarn to complete the color changes that I have decided I'm going to do about every 20 rows plus or minus 2. Of course, since I started talking, the dog has awakened and come in to say hello, but he should be pretty well behaved. I'm also tracking my progress using a chart and a magnet board and my little crosshair magnet, which helps me identify exactly where I am. But if you glance at this chart, you'll see that there's a lot of repetition of yarn over knit 2 togethers or yarn over slip slip knits, depending on which way you want the slope to go. And that's one of the things I love about charts. The diagonal line tells you, okay, you're going to make 2 stitches into one, but the line will also tell you which stitch should be over the other stitch because the slant goes the other way. Which is really nice. So you can visualize exactly what you have to do, and I just say decrease, and I just know which direction it should go. That's a really nice thing. I'm finding that, oddly enough, as the rows have more stitches, because they have large sections of repeating knit 2 together, yarn over, slip slip knit, yarn over, which goes on for 15 or more repeats, the knitting is actually speeding up because I don't have to pay attention as much as I just have to count to 15 as I'm counting my decreases. So it's actually going faster as the rows have more stitches. I'm looking at 684 stitches per row, and it's going to get larger. But I'm on row 164 out of 208. So we'll see. Maybe I'll finish it this week. Maybe I won't. I have time. And I'm trying to decide what I'm going to knit next. I do have a pair of socks that I want to make for hubby with his size 12 triple E feet. Yeah, that'll be some knitting on sock weight, fingering. Yeah, 8 stitches to the inch. It takes some time. But after that, I really wanted to do a two-color brioche with pattern, wave, repeat, throw for the sofa that I'm hanging out on a lot. And I need just a little something, but what I've got is big and puffy and down and awkward, and you get trapped underneath it. It's wonderful, but it's just too much. Now, I could also just grab a schlanket and use that as my throw. And I'm considering that as well because this is 100% wool and it is washable and it's actually fairly easy to block using blocking wires. So maybe, but I also really want to get into some two-color brioche with patterns because I think it will be interesting. And I guess you might have figured out, I really don't like to be bored when I knit. I like having something going on in my knitting. And that means that just a plain feather and fan is not going to do it for me. But something with a little more action, a little more thought, a little more, I don't know. I've never done brioche in two colors. I've done fisherman knit, I've done brioche rib, yeah, but never two-color pattern. And I think that's going to be the next hill I climb. Planning your next project before you've really gotten, I still have, two full skeins of yarn to knit up? And plenty of knitting to go. But that's what we do. It's kind of nice to think about what's next. I want to use up my stash. I had to buy 2 more skeins for this, but I've already knit one of them completely, and I'm working on the next one very quickly, so I'm not worried about adding to my stash before I use it up. But I don't think I want to use the Neighborhood Fiber Company yarn for a shawl. I had been thinking I wanted to use it for a shawl, and I'm actually thinking about getting a solid color and using the Neighborhood Fiber Company yarn as the pattern that travels on the surface, at least on one side, of this two-color brioche design that I've already picked out. So, thinking ahead for the next shawl, it isn't going to be a shawl. I think it's going to be a blanket. And I think I'm going to have to buy yarn to use up the yarn that I've got because I don't want the two colors to fight each other. I want one color to be solid and one color to be changing. And I've already got a skein of gray, so I'll do a test knit and we'll see if I like that. And if I like that, then I'll probably rip the whole thing out and use my sample as part of the beginning of the next piece. But I've been making really good progress. I'm very proud of what I have done. I could just pat myself on the back right now. But cold or no cold, I will keep knitting.